You're recognized for 5 minutes to give your opening statement.
Thank you. Chairman Bozeman, Ranking Member Klobuchar, and distinguished members of this committee. First, my thanks to President Donald Trump for his faith in me to lead the United States Department of Agriculture. His confidence fuels my determination to deliver. I also want to thank my dear friends and fellow Texans, Senator John Cornyn and Senator Ted Cruz, so graciously introducing me to this committee. I also obviously want to extend my sincere thanks to all of you, the United States Senate Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry, for your careful consideration of my nomination, and understand, and perhaps most importantly, I want to thank and so overwhelmed at the honor to potentially serve the men and women who daily, without pause or complaint, provide our great nation and the world with the best food, fiber, and fuel. Throughout the past several weeks, I have met or spoken with every Republican and Democrat senator on this committee, and I appreciate your insights, your concerns, and your very wise counsel. It is clear we all agree that farmers and ranchers are the cornerstone of our nation's communities, and I commit to you today that if confirmed, I will do everything in my ability to make sure our farmers, ranchers, and rural communities thrive. I also want to thank the many senators and representatives on Capitol Hill with whom I've had the incredible opportunity to work with these last 2 decades during my career in public policy. In my time first with Governor Rick Perry, then leading the Texas Public Policy Foundation, in my various roles in the Trump administration, the first one, and since 2021 in my role founding and leading the America First Policy Institute. Each of you cares deeply about the American people whom we all serve, and I promise my work will reflect that commitment. Growing up in the small ag town of Glen Rose, Texas, y'all have heard this, population then 1,200 people, is where my story begins. Then my world revolved around the future farmers of America, 4-H, and the endless cycle of baling hay, livestock shows, and rodeos that still today constitute the calendar of our small corner of Texas. That experience sent me to Texas A&M on an agriculture scholarship where I studied and majored in ag leadership and development, then on to the University of Texas Law School where I graduated with honors and performed a federal judicial clerkship. And then, of course, to helm the policy shop of Texas Governor Rick Perry. It was there that I had my first direct leadership role in big state ag policy. I had been in office serving Governor Rick Perry for 2+ years when I received a call. A small think tank of 2 or 3 staffers in San Antonio asked if I would be interested in being their new leader. And I answered that call as well, thinking as that my husband and I built our family, that would be helpful and a good potential opportunity to be a great mom, but also continue the fight for Texas. At TPPF, over the next 15 years, we fundamentally redefined the mission of a think tank from just having ideas or writing about them in white papers to actually effectually changing policy for the people of our state. We engaged strongly during those 15 years with Texas rural and small town communities, giving them a voice in government that was too often denied. In short, we changed the game in Texas. Changing the game is exactly why I accepted the invitation to join President Trump's first administration at the beginning of 2018. Everything that we had sought to do in Texas those last decades to make policy for real change, for real Texans, was being done in the first Trump administration, and I was so honored and excited to be part of it. I joined first the White House Office of American Innovation as its leader. I then soon became the assistant to the president in addition on strategic initiatives, and eventually added the role of the director of the Domestic Policy Council. In January 2021, exactly 4 years ago, we understood that President Trump's second term agenda would be delayed, so I had the privilege and the idea of establishing yet another institution of policy leadership, and the America First Policy Institute was born. I currently serve as the president and CEO there. Thanks to President Trump and to all of you, I hope to have the opportunity to bring that level of passion and commitment to the USDA. I need not tell you, of all people, that this is surpassingly important, because agriculture is surpassingly important to us as a nation. All Americans are important, but the farmer, the worker of the land who feeds all the others, is amongst the most notable. Thomas Jefferson wrote that agriculture is our wisest pursuit because it will, excuse me, I don't want to get Thomas Jefferson's quote wrong. Can't misquote Thomas Jefferson, because it will, in the end, contribute most to real wealth, good morals, and happiness. And his wisdom holds true today. I fully recognize that if I am confirmed, I am stepping into the role during one of the most economically challenging times in American agriculture history. With that in mind, I want to share with you as I close my top priorities for day one, and then perhaps a longer-term priority. First, we must ensure that the disaster and economic assistance authorized by Congress is deployed as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Second, we must work with the great men and women of USDA, the stakeholder communities, and state leaders, my deep background in state policy, to immediately and comprehensively get a handle on the state of animal disease outbreaks. Third, we must immediately begin to modernize, realign, rethink the United States Department of Agriculture, responding to the clear needs and the desires of the American people as set forth so well by the President of the United States over this last historic week. And finally, and longer term, we understand that serving all American agriculture and all the American people means ensuring that our rural communities are equipped and supported to prosper not just today, but tomorrow and the day after that and the many tomorrows to come. This includes exploring improvements to our rural development programs, demanding strong and steady domestic and export markets for our beautiful agriculture bounty, eliminating burdensome and costly regulations that hamper innovation, ensuring our nutrition programs are effective and efficient, and putting in the work to make sure we have a healthy and prepared next generation of farmers, ranchers, entrepreneurs, innovators, and indeed all Americans. This is what we need for the next century of American greatness. These are just four of my top priorities. Beyond these, I am dedicated and committed to providing all of you with the timely technical assistance that we will need to ensure that we have a farm bill that moves forward. My aim, after all, is the same as yours, the same that brought you to the Senate, the same that brought Donald J. Trump to the presidency again, and that is to serve the people in this great country. Thank you, Senator, and thank you, Ranking Member Klobuchar.